expecting from this team in 2012?
Well, I expect them to contend. Once you win a championship, like they did in 2010, you expect yourself to do it again. So there's expectation from within the team. I expect them to be in the race all the way through the end of the regular season, and I expect them to be in the playoffs. And then once you get in the playoffs, you know, you're dangerous. I think everybody expects that from this team after they set the bar in 2010. We asked all these guys during the Fan Fest, you know, what was it like watching the World Series? You weren't in it, and it hurt. And I think it's because they feel that they should be the team that's there. And when you have that as a team, that's something you hope your team has as a general manager, or as an owner, as a manager, as a coaching staff, and they have it. So my expectations are simply what their expectations are, and that's to be world champions.
How great a city this is. I mean, walking to the ballpark today, what a fantastic day in the Bay.
Go Giants! Yeah!
To think we've getting this for the second time in 3 years is really amazing, and there's just nothing like it. Nothing like walking the streets outside the ballpark when a World Series is on.
Only 2 days after winning their 6th elimination game of the playoffs, Game 1 of the World Series posed familiar obstacles that the Giants had conquered before.
The Detroit Tigers are the heavy favorites to win the World Series.
Oh, have a day, Buzz. Let's go, kid.
If you read and believe everything, the Giants have none chance tonight.
Good luck to the San Francisco Giants against the best pitcher in the game, Justin Verlander.
By the way, he will dominate tonight. He's going to go at least 8 innings and give up no more than 2 runs.
Oh, you want to fight? You don't want to fight?
For some reason, there was a calmness over the club. I didn't seem at all worried about it being intimidated by Verlander.
If you had to say who's the best pitcher in baseball, it's probably him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's unbeatable. I think he's beatable.
I believe in y'all.
It doesn't matter what they say, it's what you do. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's picked to win. If you give everything you got, leave it all be. You know, let it go.
Aquí donde empieza la historia. La historia.
If there is a couple of innings or even a few pitches of vulnerability, it's going to happen in Game 1. Get a goal tonight for the Giants. Try and get him early before he gets comfortable. And I think if they can do that, that's how they can beat him.
Let's go, fellas! Let's go, Zeke! Let's go!
Infante at second, Cabrera at first, the pitch to Young. Curveball rolled to third. Sandoval's got it. Over to second. SCUTARO covering.
Baby Z!
And the side is retired.
Vamos, empieza algo, vamos! Empieza algo, Scooty, vamos, vamos!
2 down, nobody on. Giants nothing, Tigers nothing.
This curveball's my fastball. It's unreal.
Verlander throws. High fastball swung on and belted deep into center. Jackson going back. Still going back. Adios! Pelota! Pablo Sandoval! The Giants have a 1-0 lead, and that was just a liner.
You can't throw that to Pablo.
He's supposed to be the big bad Detroit Tigers and blow us off the field by hitting home runs. And here a guy comes out, probably shocks them.
You get that first run across the board, and then it was my job to go out there and throw out the shutdown inning.
So here's Cabrera swinging a shot into left field. Blanco coming on. He slides and he makes the catch. And Pagan, it's a chopper to third. Cabrera, it hits the bag, and it rolls into left field, and Pagan is on the move, and he's going to trot into second base. SCUTARO at first, a run in for the Giants. The pitch to Sandoval. Sandoval, it's a high fly ball to left. At the wall, it is out of here! Pablo Sandoval, opposite field, 4-0 Giants. Is now at second for Barry Zito.
Well, he can have a magic at bat.
Zito, base hit left field. Here comes Belt, and Belt scores. It's
With all the hard work that he put into this season, you know, the grinding days, not really taking his foot off the gas, you know, it says a lot about a guy who, you know, who's gone through what he's gone through.
He is carving up the strike zone. Knee highs, elevators, whatever he wants to do.
That was important for me to pitch back here in the playoffs, you know, to come back in front of the fans and come full circle with the fans and all that stuff. To be able to go game one on top of that was just like the greatest opportunity I could ever ask for in my pitching career.
2-2 pitch. He struck it out! The high fastball on the inside. Here comes Pablo Sandoval.
Ovation for Sandoval. Hit 2 home runs tonight. He has been the star with the bat for the Giants.
You know, he came into the World Series ready and hungry to play. That was taken away from him in 2010, so he was going to make sure that he was ready to play this time, and he proved it right out of the gate.
For 2010, I learned a lot. But when you're going to mature every single year, I've been learning a lot of things in the last 2 years to prepare for this moment. You know, I was ready for this moment a long time ago.
Ball on a strike to Pablo. The 1-1 pitch. He swings and he belts one.
Sandoval conecta elevado al central, está buscando.
Deep center field. Jackson is going back.
Está buscando Jackson, está buscando.
Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson, Albert Pujols last year as one of only 4 that have ever hit 3 home runs in a World Series game.
The party seems to be never-ending here at AT&T Park this October.
Started in April and it's still going.
The Giants fans are thrilled with his effort. The 2012 rebirth of Barry Zito in San Francisco just continues. 40,000 plus chanting his name. Some nasty stuff out of the pen. And Peralta strikes out swinging. And Lincecum does his job.
AFFELDT trying to get the final out. There's a swing. This should do it. A ground ball to short. Crawford has it, slings it to second. And the Giants, for the first time in this postseason, have a Game 1 victory.
Giants are taking a championship this year again. 2 in 3 years. Dynasty.
The Giants and Tigers are set for Game 2 of the World Series. 5:07, the first pitch.
That's my Afghan campaign. Global war on terrorism, national defense, good conduct, Purple Heart, combat action.
This place will be rocking though, man. Yeah. It's unreal. Like the way that the fans and all that, like it's unbelievable, dude. Oh, sick, dude. There you go. Willie Mays signed it, too.
Sweet. Awesome.
He did a hell of a throw, huh?
That was awesome.
Man, he had a lot on that ball.
With Madison Bumgarner on the mound against Doug Fister. Bumgarner gets the ball after working on some mechanical issues that affected his velocity and command in the last few starts.
So when a guy's going through mechanical problems, there are a number of things that you concern yourself with. One, if you feel like he has it corrected on the side, can he take it to the game?
We went back to his minor league video, see where his arm was behind his back and how flat he was. And when he finished his side, we felt great about where he was at.
Strike 3 call in the inside corner, got him looking.
And when you're dealing with mechanics, it's hard to think about anything else but your mechanics.
Fair ball heading down the left field line. It caroms off the sidewall. Blanco over to get it. The throw to Posey, the tag, and he is out!
The second thing, can you transition from the windup to the stretch?
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out.
You got to upset his rhythm. These are all things that go into the equation of holding runners on. Well, that upsets your timing.
Infante is picked off. Belch got it. Can't get it out of his glove. The throw. They got him.
All that is extremely difficult if it's a spring training game. What he did is really one of the most remarkable things I've ever seen.
Curveball struck him out swinging. The 0-2. Monte swings and misses. Strike 3. And the fastball got him.
So here's Blanco with Pence at second and Belt at first.
I think certain things, whether you call it fate, whether you say it's the baseball gods, those things make a difference.
Sometimes when momentum shifts, it shifts. No one can explain it. Athletes can't explain it. Sometimes it just feels like everything is meant to be.
Blanco bunts it. Third base side, and it's going to roll and roll and roll and roll, and it stays fair. Unbelievable. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Crawford, a double play ball to Infante. To throw to first, double play. Coming in to score is Pence, 1-0 Giants.
2 down in the ninth. Bases in. 2-0 Giants. A pop-up foul. Here comes Belt. Has room. Foul ground. He's got it. And the Giants have shut out the Tigers. But the Giants have a 2-0 lead.
Feels good, but he's not over. You know, you need to win 4 games. Hopefully, we get the next 2 in Detroit.
Hey, win it in Detroit.
All right, thank you, my man. Pedal to the metal. Huh, buddy? Right on, Mike.
Detroit Tigers, you can't take them lightly. They're at home, they're an American League team, and as excited as we are, it is a World Series and things can change in a heartbeat.
I think that the Giants took it very seriously that they still could lose that series. Even one game could make a difference, and that's where I think you saw the Giants really put their foot on the gas pedal.
Hey, stop walking out of the way.
Ryan Vogelsong was handed the task of starting Game 3 for the Giants. And his teammates were intent on sustaining their momentum in the cold confines of Comerica Park.
3-2 the count to Blanco. Pence at third. Here's the pitch. A swing and a high drive into deep right center field. That's into the wide open spaces. Pence has scored. Blanco flying around second and into third. The Giants have gone ahead 1-0.
Brandon, let's go.
Swinging a liner into center. It falls in front of him. It skips by him as he went for the catch. And the Giants have a 2-0 lead.
And he throws, and Barry, it's a bouncing ball to Scutaro. Scutaro's got it. He goes to Crawford to 1. To first, double play.
And the Giants defense has just become a huge part of the story of this postseason.
This was a baseball team that knew how to pitch the scouting reports, knew how to set a defensive scouting reports.
Swing and a high pop-up. Ryan Vogelsong facing the American League's best hitter with the bases loaded, and he got it.
Meanwhile, there was Crawford, a pillar of strength.
For all the errors that he made early in the season, late in the season, that's how good he was. Really was the solidifying force of our defense.
1-1 pitch. Swinging a broken back rounder toward the middle. Diving to his left, Crawford. He's got it. Up to his feet, and he throws him out at first. What a play.
They out-baseballed Detroit, and it wasn't even close.
High fly ball deep down the left field line. Into foul ground. He makes the catch. Sliders struck him out swinging. The Giants have a 3-0 lead. A second consecutive shutout of the American League champion Tigers.
Nobody ever wanted to believe that we could, that we could do it. And we were the only ones here in San Francisco and in the clubhouse that truly believed that we could do it.
Thank you, Kyle.
The Giants were now on the cusp of their second World Series crown in 3 years. Collectively, the fans and players would unite again for the challenge ahead.
Feet wide apart, opened up stance, the pitch. There's a high drive, way back left center field. It bounces and is up over the wall. Brandon Belt swings. He belts one down the right field line, deep into the corner, and it's off the base of the wall. A triple for Brandon Belt, and the Giants have gone ahead 1-0.
Kane throws, and Cabrera hits a high fly ball to right. At the wall, it's gone. It looks a routine fly ball, and it's carried out of the ballpark, and the Tigers take the lead. It's 2-1.
Come on, Kane!
Strike free call at the knees.
As the ball hit back at Kane, off of Kane, it rolls out toward short, barehanded by Crawford, and he throws him out at first. SCUTARO, Sandoval, and Posey coming up in the sixth, trailing 2-1.
Come on, Buster!
At the beginning of the season, there was really just one overarching question. Will Buster be able to get through a season?
He can impact the game as much as any player in baseball, and really remarkable the way he came back after that injury.
To go through the season being taken care of every day physically in the training room, it takes a strong mind to deal with all this.
Posey had struggled that series. Basically, they were not giving him anything to hit.
He'd thrown some off-speed stuff to me in the previous 2 at-bats.
He just keeps his focus. The guy's as professional as it gets.
Still wanted to be ready to hit the fastball, but had the chance to see some of the off-speed stuff.
There was something deep down, I thought he is going to find a way to get it done this time.
Posey swings and it's a high fly ball.
When he hit it, I didn't know if he could keep it fair.
Down the left field line. It is.
Was able to keep my bat in the zone just long enough to get the barrel on it and keep it fair.
Gone!
At that moment, I thought the Giants are going to win the World Series.
Coming back and hitting a homer, and Kane gave up another homer and tied it, and then there was just so much chaos. You could see the up and down of a lot of guys. They're real excited and then really down.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Jeremy AFFELDT is the new pitcher.
The pitch. He struck him out swinging. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball struck him out swinging. AFFELDT strikes out the side. We are going overtime for the 10th inning. It is 3-3.
Come on, Jerry, come on!
Terrio swings and hits a sinking liner to right field, and that's going to get down base hit. The runner at second, 3-1 to SCUTARO.
Told myself to slow down and try to get a good pitch to hit and don't try to do too much. Just try to hit the ball where it's pitched.
And SCUTARO lines one into center field. Terrio tearing around third. Here comes the throw of the slide. He's safe at home plate, and the Giants have gone ahead 4-3. 3 outs away from a sweep and 3 outs away from a World Series title. Romo pitches, and Kelly goes down swinging, and the Giants are 1 out away. The 1 out, though, they'll have to get through Miguel Cabrera, the Triple Crown winner.
Game 1 of the series, Romo always sits in the first couple innings. He sits in the dugout on the first step watching the game. And Miguel looked over at Romo and he's like, Romo, I'll be waiting for your slider. And I was like, Romo's gonna remember that.
You know, I went out and talked to him and said, listen, you make your toughest pitches here.
Cabrera swings and misses, and slider strike 2.
Is he pulling off still? Is he just trying to stay back and just catch it, as it comes through the zone? That's when you're really vulnerable to an outside fastball.
Romo shakes off Posey. Now has the one he likes.
That last pitch, I went slider to start with, and Romo shook to the fastball.
It was like me versus you to end it for all the marbles.
2-2 pitch on the way. Cabrera takes strike 3 called, and the Giants have won the World Series in Detroit. And the celebration begins as the Giants mob the mound.
This is the best time I had in my life.
Get in there with us. Home run. World Series champions forever.
You're gonna get sick.
Don't worry about it later. You don't have to play anymore this year anyway. It doesn't matter.
The definition of us is playing for the guy next to you.
We were one of the more unselfish teams ever in baseball.
You have a great group of core guys that love what they do.
Fighters, passion.
Never say die. I mean, 6 elimination games.
Coach, how you doing? It's nice to meet you. I'm Brendan Bell.
Love, the love we got together. You know, we never refuse to lose.
It's really a two-way relationship. Fans to the team and teams to the fans.
Happiest place on earth.
All of our guys are fan favorites, and you don't see that a lot in this game, where they respect all 25 guys on the roster for something that they've done for this team.
They came up with this idea, the whole Together We're Giant, and I love it because you can feel it.
The Giants family, and that's everybody. You know, that parade isn't just for the players, it's for the fans as well.
Just to be playing on the Giants in the first place and then getting to the World Series, going down Market Street in the parade, it's honestly a dream come true.
This has been an exclusive presentation from SFG Productions.